Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Toy Collector Review with me, Sergeant Geek. And once again, we're going to be looking at some more G1 Transformers. We're going to be looking at some of the Decepticon Seeker class. And we're going to be looking at some of the all-time favorite Autobots, the Dinobots. That's right. Once again, guys, don't forget, when we hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to be doing another giveaway on this channel. So guys, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button right now and let's get into this video. Alright guys, first Transformer we're looking at here, this is Megatron's second in command. This is STARSCREAM. Now as you can see, he looks real shiny. That's because he's a reissue. I actually picked him up last year. STARSCREAM is one of the few Transformers that was able to elude me growing up. I had a lot of the other Seekers. I just wasn't able to get my hands on him as it was very hard to find them in any type of toy store in town. But as you can see, it is a really cool figure and he looks even great when he's transformed. And in airplane mode, he turns into an F-15. Now the original STARSCREAM, the shooters didn't have such large missiles. They actually had shorter ones. The reissue, I guess to identify them as reissue, they issued out these larger projectiles out the guns. It looks kind of ridiculous, but it's a reissue. It is what it is. I had to get STARSCREAM for my collection. Even though he's got those ridiculous long missiles on there, he is still a cool looking jet to have. Alright guys, so let's take a look at one of the other Seekers from the original Transformers. Alright guys, here we have Thundercracker. Now Thundercracker really looked down on anything that couldn't fly on Cybertron, and he was very loyal to Megatron. But as you can see, my figure, he's missing his guns and he's missing his hands. I'm looking on eBay to see if I can find some replacements, and I already ordered a set of decals so I can redo the decals on him and bring him back to new condition. Other than that, he doesn't have any damage to him. He's a great figure. I remember I was so excited as a kid when I actually got this as a toy for Christmas, and I really like it. It's a really cool figure. He's a really cool character on the cartoon. Now, once again, just like STARSCREAM, he does transform into an F-15. And just like STARSCREAM, he is a really cool F-15 to look at. It's really cool. I like it a lot. I hope you guys like it too. But let's go on and take a look at our next figure here. Alright guys, next Transformer we got here is Thrust. Now Thrust came onto the scene on the cartoon show in season 2, episode Dinobot Island. Now he's pretty much the same as the Generation 1 Seekers from episode 1. He's the same mold. The only difference is he is an F-15 with modified engine wings. I believe they were called the VLOTs. He is a loudmouth that's always trying to announce himself, claiming victory before he even enters the battlefield. But at the very first sign of resistance, he's the first to run back. He's pretty much a big coward. And these Transformers were also known as the Coneheads, the Seekers that appeared in season 2, because there was just one difference in them between the season 1 Seekers, and that was instead of placing the nose cone of the plane down for the head, you actually left it up in this configuration. It kind of made them look weird, but they were all three of these Seekers were just as cool as the season 1 Seekers. And let's take a look at him now in airplane mode. Alright, here he is transformed in airplane mode. As you can see, he's pretty much got the same body fuselage as the season 1 Seekers like STARSCREAM and Thundercracker, but he has a different set of wings and tail wings. And as you can see on the engines, he has those VLOT engines, and I guess they make them hover in place, but I never seen him actually do that in the cartoon. But I know as a kid when I used to play with them, that's how I used to play with them. As I used to play with them as if he was kind of like a Harrier, and it's pretty cool. Let's go ahead now and let's take a look at one more of these Seekers. Alright guys, this here is RAMJET. Now RAMJET is particularly named because He's one of the few Seekers that is actually designed to cause mid-air collisions, and it comes to a big surprise when they see him coming. They never expect him to go flying right through them, but he actually does. Now don't get me wrong, when he crashes and all those collisions does take a toll on him, and as you can see in my figure, it really took a toll on him. I'm gonna actually have to take this one apart and do some whitening to the main body to get it white again. You can see he's got a little sun damage, and as pretty much all my Seekers, he's missing his hands and his guns. Like I said, I'll be going on eBay to pick those up, and I'm gonna be going to that Transformer website that I guys left you a link in the last video. I'm gonna be getting decals for them, especially him, to redo the decals after I whiten him up. But once again, he is another cool design from the season 2 Transformers cartoon. So let's take a quick look at his airplane mode. Alright guys, and once again, as you can see here, just like every other Seeker class from G1, he has that main F-15 fuselage body and a different set of wings. Now the wings look like they were kind of inspired off of F-16 prototype XL. I like the way it is. It's got those engines built into the wings, kind of give you that feeling for him to ram into somebody and shatter them apart. Now I am missing one of the tail wings, and like I said, I'm missing the hands and his cluster bombs. He actually comes with a set of cluster bombs that hang underneath the wings. I remember getting this one as a kid. Once again, he was a cool figure to have. What else can I say about the Seeker class? If you like planes, you love Transformers, you definitely got to get these in your collection. But let's go ahead and take a look at some Autobots now. And when I say Autobots, I mean Dinobots, the coolest Autobots out there. This here is SLAG. Now he is a Triceratops Dinobot. He's pretty cool. Now this one you can see he is clear. I am not sure if he's a reissue or a prototype. The guy I brought it from at a flea market thinks it's a prototype because he hasn't really seen any other clear ones. There were a set of clear ones out there that I seen on the internet, but I couldn't make out whether or not they were prototypes or reissues. Guys, if you know, leave me a comment below. Let me know what it is. But once again, the Dinobots were cool as hell. I actually had all of them except for Swoop as a kid. But let's take a look at him in dinosaur mode. Now as you can see here, he transformed into a very cool Triceratops. Once again, these were awesome. Come on, any kid back in the 80s, who could resist the Dinobots? They were dinosaurs that transformed into robots. That was like the ultimate toy back in the 80s. And these Dinobots were very powerful in the show. Any of the Combiner series Decepticons knew they were in trouble when they saw the Dinobots coming. But enough with SLAG. Let's take a look at another Dinobot here. Alright guys, the next Dinobot we have here is SNARL. Now SNARL is another very cool Dinobot. He's about the same size as SLAG, and I just love the way the Dinobots have all this gold trim on them. See how shiny they are? They have gold, pretty much gold chrome plating everywhere. Now the thing with the Dinobots in the cartoon, Wheeljack and Ratchet actually created the Dinobots on Earth. In the video game, in the comics, they would belong to a special strike force team, and in the video game they were a strike force team, and Shockwave actually did some experimentation on them after kidnapping them and decided to mutate them into Dinobots that he found on a faraway distant planet. But these guys are really cool. I like the way they are, especially from the G1 cartoon series. And let's take a look at him in his Dinobot mode. And in Dinobot mode, SNARL actually changes into a Stegosaurus. Once again, I just love the way that Hasbro actually put that gold trimming on him and on his spikes along his back. He's just an awesome looking Dinobot, and it's really cool. They look great on my shelf, and to have all of them finally after all these years, it's really cool. So let's take a look at our next Dinobot. And here we have Sludge. A very weird name for a Transformer, but it is what it is. And once again, just like the other Dinobots, you can see a little bit of gold trimming on there. He's actually got some chrome as well. It's a very cool figure. Now with all my Dinobots in my collection, I have their swords, but I don't have the guns that come with them. So I'm once again looking on eBay, trying to find them for a decent price. I don't let missing parts stop me from getting figures and toys for my collection that I actually like. I'm not very particular because I can always shop around on the internet and try to find those pieces. I'd rather have the main figure than not have anything. But that's a side note. Let's get back to the figure and let's check out Sludge in Dinobot mode. And here in Dinobot mode, you can see Sludge is a brontosaurus. Now supposedly these guys were supposed to be towering over the Autobots, but in toy size they're actually smaller or quite the same, which is kind of weird. I wish Hasbro would have made them bigger than the Autobots, but they are once again cool figures and cool toys to play with. Now this one was kind of hard to play with because you can see his front legs, you can see underneath, you actually fold in his arms underneath there to put him in dinosaur mode. But other than that, posability, otherwise than that, it was a cool figure and it's great to play with these things. Now let's take a look at one of the hard to find Dinobots. Alright guys, here we have Swoop, the aerial Dinobot. Now this Dinobot is really hard to come across. I've been searching for him for years. Everywhere on the internet that had one, it was in poor condition or it was a reissued and they were going for exorbitant amount of price. So I searched around, searched every toy show and toy convention that came into town, every comic book convention, and I was persistent to find them for a decent price. And one toy show I went to, gentleman had this figure here for $50 and he is an original. He's a 1984 figure. Look at the condition he's in. He came with the box complete. The box is in almost perfect condition as far as I can see. I did not find any flaws in it. And a figure like this would normally go for like at least $100. But I was able to get him for $50 because the gentleman was selling off his collection. He knew what he was worth. He just wanted to move his collection as fast as he could at this toy show, and I jumped at the chance to get him. Now this is the second Transformer in my collection that I paid this kind of money for. But as you can see, you take a look at him, he's well worth it. If you're a Transformer collector and you got the Dinobots, you know you got to get Swoop. But we're getting sidetracked here with the hunt for Swoop. Let's take a look at him in his Dinobot mode. And in Dinobot mode, Swoop actually turns into a pterodactyl. Now just look at him, all that chrome, shiny as hell. He's an awesome figure, and as you can see, he's got a small hole in the middle of his chest. You can actually, I guess depending on how you're gonna display him, he actually has a little rolling wheel on a shaft that you can actually poke through that hole right there. I guess it's to roll him around. I'm not really sure. I looked at the instructions. It really doesn't say what's it for. It just says how to do it. But just taking a look at this figure, it was well worth me getting him for my collection to complete my Dinobot collection. He is just an amazing figure. Almost mint condition as far as I can see. All the stickers are perfect. There's no scratches or anything on it. This is an amazing figure right here. It is truly, truly awesome. But let's get back to the take and let's take a look at the last but not least Dinobot on this list. Now this is one Transformer that everybody knows. It's the one that is the king of the Dinobots. This here is Grimlock. And just look at that chest plating right there. This one is an awesome figure. I remember having him as a kid. Everybody wanted to play with him. Everybody wanted to borrow him. He's just that cool of a Transformer. And anybody who collects Transformers, I almost guarantee they got a Grimlock in there. He's just too cool to not to have in your collection. And let's take a look at this one in his Dinobot mode. Alright, now when Grimlock changes, he transforms into a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And this is the way I pretty much keep all the Dinobots on my display shelf in Dinobot mode, because almost all the time whenever you see them, whenever they appeared in the cartoon and especially in the movie, they're in Dinobot mode. And Grimlock in the movie was kind of like the comic relief, but he is an awesome figure. I remember when he came out, I couldn't wait to get him as a kid, and I wanted to have all the Dinobots, and I couldn't because swoop was hard to come by. But this one here is amazing. Like I said, just take a look at him. He is a great figure, and anybody that collects Transformers definitely has him on their shelf. Now, there is one other Dinobot. I'm not sure if he was an official Transformer. I know my dad has him because my dad is, once again, my dad, my son, we all collect toys, and he has this rare dragon Transformer. It transforms just like the original Transformers, but I'm not sure if he's an original because I've never seen him on any shelf. He is definitely one of a kind, but once again, this is a great figure right here to have. Alright guys, that pretty much does it for this video here. Once again, if there's anything you want to see on the channel, let me know in the comments below. If you like what I'm putting on the channel, hit the like button. And don't forget, when we hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to be doing another giveaway on this channel. The last giveaway I did was the first one I did on this channel. We had one winner. He actually got himself 2 prizes off of that one. But I want to give away some more stuff. So if you guys want to be a part of it and you want to get it going, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Once again, this is Sergeant Geek, and I'm signing off.